Hey there, welcome back buddy. In this video, we are going to learn what is manual sharing. So basically manual sharing is the fourth level in record level security. I do also posted videos regarding the remaining three levels. If you wanted to learn about them, check out my previous videos. Okay, now when we will be using manual sharing? And the answer to that particular question is very simple. If you want users in your org to share their record to any individual user or set of users manually instead of automating it by sharing rules or grant access using role hierarchies, we will be going with manual sharing. Now let's just take up a scenario and check how the manual sharing works in real time. So basically you can see in this particular browser, I have logged in as Professor 1 user, and in the other browser, I have logged in as Admin Manager user. Now currently you can see this particular user is having access to only one student record. Now let's say due to some reason, this particular admin manager user is asking access for this specific student record, which is owned by this professor user. Now using this manual sharing concept, this professor can easily share the specific record to the admin manager. Now let's see how this can be done. So I just opened that particular record. In the quick action button, you'll be seeing a button known as sharing. So if you're clicking on it, you'll be seeing this option where you can share it to an individual user or a specific public group or to a specific role or to a specific role in internal subordinates and all. It will be asking. But in our use case, we are just going to share it with an individual user. So let me just select the user. And here I have to select to which user we are going to share this record. So here we are going to share it with the admin manager. Let me just select that user. And one thing that you can note here is that you can select multiple options at a time. For example, let me just select one public group. Here you can see you can select multiple options at a time. Okay. Now, as per our use case, we just wanted to share it with this individual. So let me just remove that option. And also you can specify the access level, whether it is read only or read write. Now let me just leave it as read only. And here you can see to whom and all this specific records have been shared. Okay. Now let me just share this record. Now going back to this admin manager view, let me just hard refresh once. And now you can see this particular admin manager gained access to the student record. But one thing to note here is that we have shared it with read only access, right? So here in this professor view, I am clicking on the sharing button. And as I said before, here you can see to whom and all this record has been shared. For the admin manager one, we just shared it with read only. Now let me just try editing the record from the admin manager view and see what's happening. Let's say I'm just modifying the name, clicking on save, and here you can see we are getting the error stating that we are not having necessary permission. Fine. And one another thing that you have to notice is that the user can able to share the record only which they want. Okay. Here as the admin manager, let me try sharing the Abhi record to someone else and the sharing button will not be visible. Okay. Now let me take up the another student record which is owned by this admin manager, and here you can see the sharing button is available. Fine. Now one another question. Let's say professor user deleted this particular record, and of course you would have guessed it, for admin manager also this record will not be visible. But now the question is that let's say professor user undeleted the student record. Now do you think whether this admin manager will automatically gain access to this record after undeleting the record, or again this professor user should be manually sharing the record? Let's test this particular scenario. For that, I'm deleting this particular Abhi student record from the professor point of view. Let me just delete it. Okay, going back to the admin manager view, let me just refresh the screen. Here you can see the record has been removed from this list view from the admin manager view as well. Now let me undelete the record. Okay, going back to the professor's view. In the app launcher, if you are searching for recycle bin, you will be seeing the list of deleted records. Now here I'm going to restore it. Okay, and here I can see the restored record. Now going back to the admin view, let me just refresh it once. And here you can see this particular user gained access to the undeleted record automatically again. Awesome. Now one question to you. How come Salesforce identifies whether a specific record has been shared to a user or not? Of course, for Salesforce also to identify, it should be storing that particular information somewhere, right? And that is where Salesforce will be storing this information under the share object. For every existing standard object, also for the custom objects that we create, Salesforce will be creating the share objects. And the nomenclature for the standard object will be like object name followed by share. And for the custom objects that we create, the nomenclature will be like object name followed by underscore underscore share. So here you can see I wrote a SOQL to query the list of records which are available under the student underscore underscore share object, which is last modified by today. Okay. If you are new to SOQL or you couldn't understand the syntax, don't worry. I'm just querying the list of records which are available under the student underscore underscore share object. Okay. Here you can see which record has been shared and who shared the record and to which user or group the record has been shared, what is the access level, and what is the RowCause. Whether it's been manually shared or it's been shared by sharing rule, those information will be stored in this RowCause. I'm querying this particular object because when you're trying to search for share object in the object manager, you won't be seeing the share object in the object manager. Fine. I do also wish to demonstrate this particular thing, which is let me create one sharing rule under the student object and let's see what are the records that are getting created automatically under the share object. Okay, so let me just create one quickly. And yes, now you can see that Salesforce automatically creates record under this student underscore underscore share. But here you can notice that row causes rule, which is nothing but sharing rule. And this is how Salesforce identifies which specific record has been shared to what are the users or group. And finally, let's say the sharing button is not visible for you. These are the options that you need to consider. Let's say the OWD for a specific object is set to public read write, then the sharing button will not be visible for that particular object. And let's say I haven't added the sharing button in the page layout, which is in the quick action, then also the button will not be visible for the users. And finally, for the detailed record in the master detail relationship, that is in the child object, you won't be seeing the sharing button because for the detailed record, the sharing is controlled by its master. And these are the interview questions that can be asked under this particular topic. Pause the video and evaluate yourself. And as usual, I do also prepare use cases for you to practice. So make sure you're practicing these use cases before jumping on to the next video. I'll be leaving this PPT and use case documentation link in the description for you to check out. And in the next video, we can learn what is Apex sharing, which is nothing but you can programmatically share the record to an individual or group of users. And yes, that's it for this video. See you next video. Thank you. Bye bye.